Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Let's Science StarMade. This is for planes here again, speaking. Hi folks, welcome back. And this time in Let's Science StarMade, well, it's obviously not about the ship. I'm mainly using that for cinematic purposes. No, this episode of Let's Science StarMade is about power. More power. Well, not strictly more power, but power in general. The reason why it's about power is on screen right now. This is a new project of mine. If you know which series this is from, which anime, kudos to you. And the ship, obviously. And yeah, for purposes of, well, I wanted to fit in the most efficient power supply, I've decided, whoopsie, yeah, that I wanted to make a Let's Science StarMade about power. And that's what we're gonna do. So that's, yeah, it's not finished coloring. The front is, the back is not. Let's fly to our power unit there. And the ship I'm in right now is a perma-cloaking vessel. If you once and get out, yeah, where about the inconsistencies like this one here, where is it in somewhere in the video? This is because I've done this entire episode once already, and yeah, it just didn't do what I wanted to. And this one here is my reworked version of my 4-planes cloaker, which I used in the first episode, and once I get out of, well, get out of this ship here, where is it? It must be somewhere around here. Yeah, you can see it parked here. And you can see my older version of the 4-planes cloaker that misses the weapon system and salvaging beams. And that's the new version. I like it quite much. It looks awesome, I think. I could easily fit more weapons, but I don't wanna. Regardless, this episode is about power. So hence this episode revolves about power. We should take a look how to efficiently generate it. And for said reasons, I will go about it like in the first 2 tries of this that my video program has mostly sabotaged, and we'll start again. So, well, first, well, most people start with 6 power blocks. So let's see how to most efficiently generate power with 6 blocks. Let's put it into a 6 long column, because that's what most people, or what I've done with 6 units of power. And we see 763.8 units of power. Okay. So now you've read, well, dimensionality is important, so let's try to make it more dimensional. Like maybe that. And what will we get? Still 763 units of power. Okay. But this one clearly engulfs more volume. That was what it was for me like when I started going into efficient power systems at the start of the game. I read up on the wiki and it said that the X, the Y and the Z direction is important. The more volume out of these engulf, the more power you get, because the bonus is higher. But researching it like that, I don't think that's true. So, well, maybe that's size dependent, I thought. And, well, we can make a small little experiment. Let's make it 4, that's 24, 25. Yeah, that's easily handleable. 4 up, 4 up, and 1 in the middle. And that's a 9 high block. That's a 9 high column. So, add 4 there. And add 4 there. And now we cannot add 4 because we have the raw advanced build tool on. And add 4 here. And that gives us... need an empty sheet of paper. 5,478.8. 5,000. I hope the click was not too loud. 478.8. So, that's 25 units of... that's 25 blocks. Oops, that was too fast. Let's deinstall that. Okay, so we've taken it down. We need 24, so let's go 6 into Y direction, and that's the wrong symmetry, that's the right symmetry. Let's put that on odd symmetry, put it here. Yeah. 1, 2. So, that's 24 blocks. 25 blocks. And we get 5,478.8. And, well, that's clearly not more than that. And that's much less volume in total when you multiply the dimensions of the reactor than the old reactor. But my brain got thinking back then. Dimensions. What if you have to add the dimensional size? Like the X, the Y, and the Z. My reactor, which we built previously, was 9 in each dimension, which is 27. And the 25 one here is 25 in one dimension and 2 in the other, which equals 27 as well. So, is that it? I can't find any other explanation, so to sum it up, from many multiple different tries, up to now I've had 5 different tries on 3 different takes to produce this video. It was always like that. We can now conclude something. Power is dependent on dimensionality. So let's make a little experiment. Knowing that, we should be able to very simply stage a small little experiment. Put power here. Put power here. That's 18 power blocks. 3,334.64.2. That has a dimensionality of, if we go by the rules, and they are correct, of 20. That's a little math fail. So if we add 1, well, let's go about it a little different. We shorten that here 1, we take out 1 here, and place 3 here. And now we have an additional unit of power. I have to remove another one. An additional unit of power. I did something wrong, right? I should write down the values. Otherwise, I get confused. 3,364. 64.2. Okay. So, take 1 away from here, move 1 here, gives us the ability to place 2 blocks. If we want to place a 3rd block, we have to remove 1. We removed 1 too many blocks, I think. No, we didn't. Like that. Okay, so we removed 1 block, and we dropped a whole bunch of power. Why? So it's the same amount of blocks, but the dimensionality is different. If we now take a look at this one's dimensionality, it is 16 on 2 and 1, which is a dimensionality of 19, not 20. Okay, so our guess was right. Dimensionality really plays its part in it. So if I were to make it like this, how much would I get? 3,360. Yeah, that's the same. That's our 19 blocks. Our 18 blocks. But this time it's 17 long on 2 on 1. And if I remove that, we have 3095.8, which is 25 less than this design heralded. Exactly 25 less. And that led me to deduce something. So, maybe, and I'm very convinced that this is the case, one block has a base power of 25, which it adds, regardless of how you place it. We can actually test that far more reliably. Let's place a 2 on 2 and 2 block. Those are 8 blocks. They should give us 200 power plus their bonus, which is 576. For a 6-dimensionality, yeah, that's correct, because the 6-dimensionality, it is 2 in each direction. I figure it has an additional power output of 376.4, or at least that's the bonus. So, we are correct. 25 is the base power. 1. And the dimensionality gives you, I don't know the term yet, but for the more blocks there, for the bigger the dimensionality is, the more you will, or to do it another way around, the boost in dimensionality from 1 block, which the boost is, which is 115. For 3-dimensionality, you get 115. 115. See? 4 is 188. Dimensionality is the bonus for 4. And the bonus for 5 is 276. So, you see, the increase in bonus per dimensionality isn't linear, but it's growing with the dimensionality. So the more dimensionality, the higher the dimensionality is, the more is the increase per block I add. So for example, if I had a dimensionality of 10, the increase would be 200, for example. From 9 to 10, and from 10 to 11, it's 220 increase in bonus for the place block. So having many connected of these bonuses really is the way. Or no, having as high dimensionality reactors as possible with the least amount of blocks you can achieve is the way to most efficiently generate power, regardless of how you achieve it. Whether you make columns, spaces, it doesn't matter. The dimensionality counts. The higher it is, the better to efficiently generate power. This is not completely true. This is for below... did I misplace a block? I don't know. It has to render in. The game needs to think about now. Here's some block that's out of whack. Okay. So, these are 7 blocks. Or, no, 8. 1096 divided by 8 is... Okay. Below 9 blocks. Below 9-dimensionality reactors. Let's check it. 1279.7 divided by 9. No. A 9-dimensionality reactor is more efficient than 9 one-dimensionality reactors. Because of one-dimensional reality, a 9-block reactor, which is an 11-dimensional reactor when you count the dimensions, is more efficient than a 9 several 1-block reactors of these. Let's place this one. So 9 of these are not as efficient enough as this, but if it's only 8 long, these are more efficient per block. So for small ships, I would recommend, if you don't have more than 9 power blocks or more, place single one of these. If you can make them bigger, better dimensionality, place them connected. This is what I found out via research, because one power block has 140 per. Once it shows up. I hate it when that happens. But you see the stat here in the block in the background. See? One of these has 140.8. And 108 blocks, a 10-dimensionality reactor, gives you 137 per block. And a 9-dimensional reactor gives you 142 per block. That being said, they don't really have more to ramble about. And you see that the ship here is finished. Yeah. Let's get out. Let's take a casual stroll around the Archangel, and then I'll tell you why I wanted to figure out all these stats. I maybe make a cut here. There may be or the previous take, there was some usable footage, so there may be this usable footage now, and then, or has been the usable footage from before, and me leaving the ship. But I don't know how I'm gonna do that. If it was important, so somehow something there, and then it'll cut back to this. Welcome back. The cloaker is now finished. I've reworked it, and yeah, let's go and get on strolling around the Archangel. Okay. Back to topic. If you take a look around the Archangel, you see it has these expansive wings and this very, very expensive front thingies here, as well as these tail fins. And the ship is 245, which I may increase in the width, and 260 in the length, almost, or 90 high. So as dimensionality, I can fit on there almost 590 dimensionality reactors. I'm sorry. And that should give me very efficient power. But what I was worried was that if you achieve the dimensionality inefficient, say you use a too big amount of blocks achieving it. Well, you waste blocks, for example, going back and forth, like you get down here, go to the front of the wing, to about this point, I'm sorry, and then you have to go backwards on the wing, again, a bit. This is slightly inefficient. I was worried that the game would punish the maximum dimensionality you could achieve. But obviously it doesn't. Let's put all my stuff on the respective weapons computers. that's a 1, that's a 2, respective computers, and then we can get on. Yeah, that was what I was worried about, but now that we found out previously that it doesn't really matter how you achieve set dimensionality to regain the set dimensionality bonus, but it matters because it's a fixed bonus for a set dimensionality size, which is, if you look at which x dimension the width, y dimension the height, and height I think, and z dimension the length your reactor span is. If you look at that and you add them, the x, the y, and the z, length, width, and height, and height, it's not height, it's height, then you get your dimensionality, and the bonus for dimensionality is fixed, as well as there's a fixed base power that each block gives you at 25 per block. Yeah. Now that we found out that, I can freely decide on using these awesome wings here as my power generators and take a sunny stroll in my 500 plus dimensionality reactors, which is going to be awesome for size-wise and length-wise. Yeah, I learned a lot making the new episode. I think the new ship's gonna be awesome. If you followed me previously, you saw my reactor design on the APCR. Well, I think I definitely have to rework my APCR's reactor design. And yeah, I'll work on that one. But the APCR is not that important, that chip is. The APCR is basically just a test of what can I do, how good are my sciencey skills yet in building it. Shields and power and stuff and engines. Yeah. Next episode is going to be about magic of thrusters and how can I see cinematics destructor shop, which how do I know how much power a set array of thrusters use. And I hope you stay tuned. And yeah, my name's 4Planes. 4Planes is out. Nah, that's a messed up outro. Well, that's it for me today. We learned something. 4Planes out.